So right now, the biggest topic is the Bitcoin spot ETF. And I've seen a lot of your tweets. You're talking about how there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We've got BlackRock, VanEck, Fidelity. There's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They're trying to convert that into an ETF. There's so much happening. Is it getting approved? Is it not getting approved? So I want to get your take. Firstly, let's start with what is going on behind the scenes.
They often say, don't do what billionaires say. Do what billionaires do. So all you have to do is evaluate what are the billionaires that support crypto initiatives like Bitcoin. And they are the billionaires that run the world. You look at Peter Thiel, you look at Elon Musk, you look at the Winklevoss twins, you look at Chamath. There are a plethora of individuals, Mark Cuban, Tim Draper, that support Bitcoin. So when you have these titans with billions of dollars in liquidity, they run narratives, especially the internet narratives. So when you compile all the PayPal mafia individuals into one room and you compile all of their tweets, and all you have to do is go on their page and type Bitcoin or BTC, you'll begin to realize that a lot of these early ideas of Bitcoin, crypto emerged in Silicon Valley. A lot of the love for crypto actually started there. So before we even talk about this idea of, oh, there's an ETF that's about to get approved and people are hyping this shit, this ETF's been approved for years.
What do you mean?
The Bitcoin ETF, so Fidelity's been mining Bitcoin since 2015.
Right.
So when you have a company that has trillions of assets under management, indirectly and directly mining Bitcoin, it tells you that they understand what is happening. So what you do is you prepare yourself ahead of time for future interactions. So when you control the markets and you get into lobbying and you get into how politicians are persuaded to push policy, not in my famous words, but in the famous words of one of the BlackRock employees, with 10 grand, you can buy a senator.
Mm-hmm.
So with 10 grand, you can buy a senator. With 10 grand, you can push a policy. So all the policy that had to be pushed was let's introduce Bitcoin as a traded potential fund through the NASDAQ. And it's not the first time that it's happened. We had the futures ETFs that were approved. We had ETFs approved in other countries. It was just a matter of time. All that had to happen was the T's needed to be crossed, the I's needed to be dotted, and BlackRock needed to sign the motherfucking paper. So when BlackRock runs the world and BlackRock says, we just filed for a Bitcoin application at the bottom of Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do? Fight them? What are they doing? Lying to you? No, they have a reputation to maintain. If they're going to actually go and pull off an ETF, it's because they have customers that want that product. But most people are like, well, why is this crazy? Why is this a good thing? Because a lot of individuals that wouldn't get exposed to crypto, that wouldn't buy crypto, that don't care about whether Bitcoin is the currency of the future, all they want is profit.
Mm-hmm.
They want exposure to this, but not through decentralized finance. They want it through a product that they understand. So BlackRock, as a financial institution that offers what? Services and products, they just said, let's make Bitcoin a product that we can sell. And that's exactly what they did.
But here's the confusing thing. Everybody's so excited about this. And, we spoke earlier and you said, you're not, you are a little bit of a Bitcoin maxi, or maybe you are, you're not, you're sort of towing that line. But is this going to be a good thing for Bitcoin or a bad thing? Obviously, it's good for Bitcoin price, but from my perspective, BlackRock and these other like major asset managers buying up this much Bitcoin seems that they're going to control a huge amount of the supply. That concerns me. Does it concern you at all?
It doesn't concern me. The reason it doesn't concern me is because Bitcoin has no owner.
Right.
And what I mean by Bitcoin has no owner is that it has no one centralized party that dictates the outcome of Bitcoin. Now, even though there's people that hold a lot of Bitcoin, that doesn't mean that they control Bitcoin. You had, for example, the richest guy in Bitcoin is a Chinese man known as Jihan Wu. He probably has over 1 million tokens. He probably has barely less tokens than Satoshi, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the biggest mining companies in crypto, and the ASIC mining machines, that's his company.
Okay.
So this guy was mining Bitcoin before Bitcoin mining was cool. He put out an article recently saying, hey, during the ETF approval, we think the market may go down. So all I'm doing is listening to other individuals and asking myself, what is the currency that I am willing to bet on? So it's not whether it's bullish, whether it's good, whether it's bad. It's I have to park my monetary value somewhere. Where do I park it? I need to park it in a vehicle that allows me to do what? Maintain my purchasing power and maintain the energy input that I initially inserted to acquire that money. The problem that we face is that a lot of people lose their ability to buy things. That's why they have to go into the markets because their assets depreciate.
Mm-hmm.
So people begin to do what? Speculate. And in speculation, you create bubbles. But what happens when speculation doesn't exist? When don't you have to have speculation? When you have no inflation, because the currency that you hold is stably appreciating. So we need to find appreciating assets. And we only correlate it to what it depreciates or appreciates against. All you have to do is compare how many US dollars were printed over the last 10 years, and you'll realize that there is no power in holding this currency. So what is the counterpart? Maybe Bitcoin is the counterpart. Maybe it's something else. But the question is, am I willing to put in the hours and commit to detangling myself from the US dollar psyop to find a better solution? I don't know if Bitcoin is a good thing or Bitcoin is a bad thing in the sense of ETF approval. I'm just right now not even looking at the ETF as an individual event, as a singularity event. Remember, I've been in the space for 8 years. So under the premise that I've been in the space for 8 years, I've seen Bitcoin at $560. I've seen Bitcoin at 1,000. I saw Bitcoin at 20, then back down at 3,500. I saw ETH at 1,500. I saw ETH at 80.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen this thing go all the way up, all the way down. But Bitcoin always makes higher lows.
A lot of people are calling this event a buy the rumor, sell the news event. What's your take? How do you think?
It doesn't matter. It depends on the individual that you are.
Right.
So if you are somebody that buys and saves in Bitcoin, it's irrelevant because you are not counting it at a dollar value. You're counting it as your ability to buy Bitcoin. If you want to trade the market, the last thing you want to be doing is trading during the ETF. Because you don't know what's going to happen. And what you need to understand is that exchanges have an understanding of order flows. They know what buy orders are in. They know what sell orders are in. They understand how thin the books are, and they can easily manipulate in and out of the market. You saw, well, this company that put out a report. I think it was called, is it Matrix Pool?
Yeah. I saw
That's owned by Jihan Wu. So now you understand the influence that's actually attached to that article.
Yeah.
It's the guy that fucking runs crypto.
And nobody had heard of Matrix Pool, which was very
Well,
interesting.
the people that don't know actually a lot about crypto.
Yeah.
It's the people that are in the crypto space that don't know about crypto.
Yeah.
And that's the entire point, is a lot of people are in crypto not because of crypto. And we talked about this. They're in it because of money. So if you have Bitcoin under the premise of I save in Bitcoin, don't worry about the ETF. If you're a trader and you want to capitalize on the markets, you need to be a person that understands that the markets sell into the liquidity. So when is the liquidity going to come? Always during the news. Do you want to be trading that event? No, because who you're trading up against? Bots, algorithms, AI, trading desks, you're fucked. With what? Your $1,000 trade on 5x leverage because that's going to be your moonshot? No. What you need to do is wait till everything settles and understand the macro trend. And where's the macro trend? The macro trend is that we are in a fucking bull run, sister. We're in a big ass bull run. And this bull run is what I believe to be the biggest super cycle crypto has ever seen. And the reason isn't because Bitcoin is more special than it used to be. First of all, Bitcoin is more indestructible than it used to be. It's not more special. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. But crypto has become a very special space. Why? Because the path of least resistance is finally here. The first bull run that I participated in, and if you wanted to be part of an ICO, you would fund your MetaMask wallet with Ethereum, you would send it to an ICO address, and they would send you tokens back. It was impossible to scale. You can't run an enterprise that way, but that was the way of raising funds. The next bull run, we had the Binance Smart Chain, right? And we've talked about this, how I bought 1% of the PancakeSwap supply because I saw DeFi growing. And I was like, whoa, these guys have built upon DeFi and they've built a platform. But it was still kind of raw. You would still have to connect multiple chains and it
Yeah.
would get messy. And then you would have your transactions, your gas transactions freeze. It was an enormous experience. Today, all you have to do is three things. Open up your iPhone. If you want to get involved in crypto in 2024, all you have to do is three simple steps. One, open up your app store, download the Phantom wallet, click the Jupiter exchange, and have your wallet funded with some crypto. And in 10 minutes, you can be trading crypto. You can be buying crypto with no KYC, no centralization from any part of the world as long as you have access to the internet. That is the path of least resistance to the normies, and it's finally here. That is what's going to cause the crypto super cycle. 100% that is what will cause the crypto super cycle.
Okay, so when you say super cycle, explain what that looks like. Because a
Massive
lot of
adoption.
people, right, but right now the cycles tend to be 4-year cycles. We have the halving,
But it's
and then we have the 18, then we have a bull market for
the
18
Bitcoin
months.
cycle started in 2009. The moment Bitcoin started
So you don't,
15
so you
years
don't
ago.
believe in the 4-year cycles.
Or you can believe in the cycle of 100 years.
But when you look at the market, you can see that it's dictated by the Bitcoin halving. 6 months later, we tend to see the bull run start. It goes on for about 18 months. Then we crash for like 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yes, at a micro cycle, yes.
Right.
But at a macro cycle, what are you looking at? What is your dollar worth right now?
In comparison to what?
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you mean?
So what is your dollar worth? What are you comparing it to? You have
I'm
nothing.
comparing it.
You have nothing to compare it to.
Right.
That's where the theft is. The fact that you have nothing
Of
to
course,
compare.
$1 is always $1. Yeah, yeah.
But what is $1 worth?
Less and less every day.
Why?
Inflation, they're printing more.
Why are they printing more money?
Debt.
No. Think. Why are they printing more money? The answer is more simple than you think.
I don't understand.
To fuck you.
Oh, right. Okay, I got it. Okay. I'm like, what do you mean?
That's it.
Right.
Because the
So
fiat,
that-
because
destruction by
fiat
design.
by nature was created to steal.
Right.
So fiat by inception, when you sit down in a think tank, you can sit down and be like, how can I help humanity? Bitcoin. How can I introduce sovereignty and complete authenticity and transparency of the ledger? Bitcoin. Counterpart. How can I fuck everybody? Centralized, closed, manipulated system with tailored books. That's what everybody lives in today. So if you want to be outside of the system and you don't want to be fucked by default, you need to be able to find vehicles that you can counter the dollar to. So what are you comparing the dollar to? You need to find that comparison.
Mm.
What have I compared it to? A few things that are of high value today. The attention currency. So I exchange my dollars for attention. I will have any day of the week money spent on distribution or content creation over holding dollars. Why? Because influence matters more than dollars. I'll hold Bitcoin over holding dollars. I'll hold luxury watches over holding dollars. Why? It's not that I can't utilize dollars, it's that they're worth nothing. So why would I have that? Because the moment you own dollars, it's you are placing a bet on them. When you hold the dollar, you're long on the dollar. It's like holding Bitcoin, but you're long on that. And you think it's pegged 1-to-1 when really it's being printed out of thin air and fucking you left, right, and center because that's what it was created to do.
It's actually insane to think that people sat down, went to an island somewhere, and decided, that they wanted to create something to fuck the entire.
The thing is, it didn't start in Jekyll Island when they passed the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. You can take the concept of usury and adding interest in debt and the debasement of currency all the way back to Rome. You can take it all the way back to Rome. You can take it all the way back to the bartering days. So we enter a society where people say, okay, we will cave to centralization under the premise of convenience. We talked about this, right? So people are like, I will be part of the system. I'll comply. I'll KYC. I'll submit my ID. I'll go try and see if I can get a bank account and not get it shut down when I try to buy some crypto and follow the rules because they have no other choice. But what happens when a competitor with a path of least resistance comes that doesn't have all the X, Y, and Z baggage attached to it? They become a competitor. So now you have the state, which the state and banking are basically one. competing with the free market.
Mm-hmm.
And which one wins? The free market always wins. So the question is, the currency that you hold, it's either backing the government, the banks, the monopoly, or sovereignty and the market. You have to pick one or the other, but it can't be both.